Thank you very much, and it's absolutely great to be here. And first of all, I think it's my first live event in 12 months, and it's absolutely great to meet some people we've been talking to for a while. And we've been having a great sessions. Yesterday there was the CIO panel, and today there was a bit of a fireside chat. And the few things which come out as the recurring topics there. One is sort of the place of the CIO on the executive table, and the role of the CIO in banking, especially, becoming much more transformational. So the idea is that in a modern post-COVID world, this post-COVID economy, where you have much more rapid innovation, you have much more faster changing, much more agile customer expectations, CIOs need to step up, and CIOs need to not only deliver on the execution, but also have a very vocal position on what's possible, what technology can deliver, and advise the business and essentially drive the business towards different thinking, whether it's around digital, whether it's around data, whether it's around customer servicing. That was a great discussion yesterday. And today we had a fireside chat on the pretty much sort of cost, new products, digital innovation, as well as skills and talent in the region. And the few things coming out of there with recurring is that in order to compete in the modern world, in order for banks to compete with fintechs, in order for banks in Middle East to compete with global or let's say Asian banks like WeBank and some of the incumbents, it's super important to focus on driving down the cost of service for the customer, still maintaining the great customer experience. And the only way to do it is through software. So one of the big things which came up was that regulatory and compliance work, which currently takes a big chunk of your costs and investment, needs to be thought through as software products. So you need to be focusing on regulatory compliance as a software solutions, as a technology solutions, that will allow you to be much more effective and everyone else to be much more effective. We've seen this happening in the retail, especially with companies like Amazon. We've seen this happening in China with Alibaba and WeChat, and we need to do the same thing here. And the second thing which we discussed today was around skills and talent, and sort of effectively the more inclusive and more diverse perspective on a talent which banks are taking, which means that we're continuing to invest in talent in UAE, whether it's through graduate programs to working with the UAE nationals, and also making sure that they get the right training and they get excited about the opportunities in the cloud space, in data space, but also making sure that we can tap into the diverse workforce in the region and make this workforce work for us and deliver benefits for us. Obviously combining the people who work directly for the banks with the vendor and sort of solution provider population, contracting population. And we also talked about fintechs and the big necessity for us to collaborate and for the banks to be able to use fintechs and use solutions offered by fintechs much more, incorporating them into the processes. That will drive down the cost, that will accelerate the innovation, and eventually allow us to move forward much faster. And it very much aligns with the regulatory framework which Central Bank of UAE is pushing to enable innovation, make it more interesting, and make it more affordable and make it more open. And also with the national agenda of fintech ecosystem, which we want to grow in the country, and we want to make sure that the UAE has the leading role in the fintech space. So doing all this together will, I think, be a great story for us, and it matches all the challenges we're facing in the current world. It was first of all, it was great to have an opportunity to see some people on stage, and also to hear them and to talk to them after and sort of share some ideas. And I felt absolutely safe. I think the environment was great, very responsible, social distancing, and effectively also non-intrusive. So essentially people felt comfortable not just talking to each other, but also being in the crowd space. So from my perspective, it was a great event.